KORK North Bay, your source for news and happenings throughout the North Bay.
Hello and thanks for watching KORK North Bay TV, where you'll find local news and happenings focused on the greater North Bay area. This broadcast is sponsored by Mike Larbre Automotive, 5-star ratings for all of your domestic and import automotive repair needs, located on Highway 12 in Sonoma. Mention you saw them here on KORK TV to receive a special discount. This broadcast is also sponsored by our friends at Sonoma Paint Center, your source for all of your home and automotive paint and supply needs.
Transform your home or business with Sonoma Paint Center. As your local Benjamin Moore retailer, we've got everything you need to paint inside and out, plus top quality stains. Step inside our Santa Rosa location or visit us in Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now our newest location in Napa. From vibrant colors to durable finishes and required supplies, we'll help you bring your vision to life. Sonoma Paint Center, serving you at Santa Rosa, Sonoma, Sebastopol, and now Napa. Sonoma Paint Center, color your world.
In Santa Rosa on Friday last week, a house fire sadly took the life of a woman who was overcome by the smoke and flames. This incident took place at about 10 o'clock in the evening on the 1600 block of Green Ike Avenue after a call was made to 911 by a neighbor who said the backside of a multi-unit home was on fire. When firefighters arrived, they found a man standing at the back of the home in a location where a studio was made out of a garage behind the front duplex. So the firefighters helped him get safely away from the burning building. The man was suffering from smoke inhalation, so he was transported to the hospital for treatment. The back studio that was on fire was engulfed in flames, so firefighters began attacking it to get the flames put out as quickly as possible. A few members went inside the home, searching for anyone else who might not have gotten out. And unfortunately, they found a woman in a bedroom, so they pulled her out and began giving her life-saving measures. But tragically, it was too late. She had already succumbed to smoke inhalation and burns from the flames and was pronounced deceased at the scene. The front 2 units of the home didn't show any damage because the fire started in the back of the front units and burned its way forward. Damages were estimated to be about $400,000. In all, 3 people were displaced by the fire, 2 from the front 2 units and the man from the rear unit. Fire investigators believe the fire started in a kitchen and appeared to have possibly been electrical in nature. The identity of the deceased woman hasn't been released yet. Our condolences go out to her family. In Petaluma on Thursday last week at about 4:10 in the afternoon, several calls came into the Petaluma Police Department about a hit and run that had just taken place at the intersection of Washington Street and Howard Street, where a young boy was hit while crossing the street in the crosswalk, and the driver took off heading westbound on Bodega Avenue. The boy that was hit was 10 years old and thankfully only sustained minor injuries and was treated at a local medical facility. That's bad enough, but we're glad it wasn't a lot worse. Thankfully, the witnesses at the scene who called 911 were able to get a good description of the car as well as the license plate number. The next morning on Friday, officers went to the home listed as the registered owner of that car in the town of Petaluma and contacted the resident, who was identified as 63-year-old Ron Jones. Jones admitted to the officers that he had indeed struck a young boy with his car and fled the scene. While the officers were talking with Jones, they noticed that he appeared to be under the influence of alcohol. So the officers performed a sobriety test and determined that, indeed, Mr. Jones was intoxicated. He was booked into Sonoma County Jail and charged with the suspicion of a DUI hit and run. We're glad they caught Mr. Jones quickly and that the young boy wasn't severely injured or worse. If things aren't already expensive enough for everyone trying to get by, the Santa Rosa City Council is eyeballing the idea of doubling the half-cent additional sales tax to 1 full cent more in order to keep up with city finances. This additional tax is only being considered at the moment by members of the city, and if approved, they say it will bring in an additional $46 million annually to help pay for city services that are falling behind due to budget deficits. This consideration by the city comes after a poll was taken back in January from over 400 registered voters within the city of Santa Rosa, where a majority of them, believe it or not, supported the notion of raising sales taxes again. If voted in, this increase would bring the city's sales tax up to at least 10.5%, if not 0.25% more, depending on how it's calculated. This increase would exceed the cap on how high sales taxes can be, so it would require legislative approval. Mind you, this increase would only be a band-aid and will not fix the ever-rising cost of city resources and services. It's only a temporary fix until the next tax increase, unless they find ways to start cutting costs instead of just adding more taxes and fees on residents year after year. In Petaluma on Tuesday last week, a teenage boy brandished a replica handgun during an altercation that took place between two groups of teenage boys on the 3000 block of Cross Creek Drive at around 4:45 in the afternoon. During the altercation, one 16-year-old boy pulled a handgun out of his backpack and began pointing it at the subjects that he and his friends were having the altercation with. Officers were called to the area, and the two groups separated, with one group leaving in a nearby vehicle and the others running towards Hidden Valley Drive. The juvenile that pulled the gun from his backpack and his two friends all ran down to a creek area next to Casa Grande Road, which is where the main subject ditched his backpack. Officers set up a perimeter around the area and used a drone and a canine unit to assist in the search. The subjects were captured when they tried escaping by running across Casa Grande Road, where officers were waiting. An additional search of the area located the ditched backpack, which contained two replica handguns and one real .45 caliber magazine. The 16-year-old that the backpack belonged to was placed under arrest and transported to juvenile hall, and the other two teenagers he was with were released without being charged. Both replica handguns and the .45 caliber magazine were seized as evidence. Residents in the western region of Sonoma County are about to get into a stinky situation with their sewer bills, as a proposal to raise the already highest rates in the state are about to go up even more. This rate hike will affect residents from the Pin Grove area all the way out to the Russian River area and the Sea Ranch area. This hike is being proposed after the Russian River area sewage treatment plant overflowed back on January 6th, spilling over 5 million gallons of raw untreated sewage into the Russian River, so the county is looking to raise rates in order to pay for maintenance on the aging and failing system. Residents within the 8 sewage treatment districts that are proposed to get the rate hikes will see an average of between 3.5% to almost 9% more on their already high sewage bills. Just an FYI, according to one report, residents in the Occidental area already pay the highest rates in the entire state for their sewage, and if this rate hike gets approved, they'll have an even higher rate. This measure is set to be heard by the Sonoma County Board of Supervisors on May 12th, and if it's approved, the rate hike would take effect on July 1st. Last Wednesday, a solo vehicle accident in San Rafael took the life of the driver after their vehicle struck a tree and burst into flames. This incident happened a bit after 8 o'clock in the morning when a four-door sedan heading north on Lincoln Avenue suddenly veered across the southbound lane, went up and over the curb, and then crashed into a tree where it then caught on fire. Some work crew members from the San Rafael Department of Public Works were nearby, so they sprung into action and began trying to put the flames out until the fire department could get there. Once the person inside was able to be removed, medics began life-saving measures, but unfortunately, the person was pronounced deceased at the scene. Lincoln Avenue was closed to both directions of traffic for about 3 hours while crews and investigators worked on the scene. A coroner's investigation is underway to determine the cause of death because it could have been a medical emergency that caused the crash. The identity of the driver has not been released until their next of kin have been notified. Our condolences go out to that person's family. Last Tuesday, a high-speed police chase ended in a fiery crash that took the lives of both occupants. This incident began shortly after midnight in the town of Napa when a sheriff's deputy spotted a silver Mercedes that was wanted in connection with a theft and for not yielding. So an officer attempted to pull the car over, but the driver had other ideas, and instead of pulling over, he decided to make a run for it and headed out of Napa Valley towards Jamison Canyon Road and then over to Highway 80 heading eastbound towards Fairfield. When they got to Fairfield, they took the Travis Air Base Parkway exit, cut off their headlights, and tried to speed out of the area heading eastbound on the parkway. But when they got near the main gate of the Travis Air Force Base, they lost control and crashed, ended up on the car's side where it then burst into flames right before the visitor center parking lot. Neither the driver nor his passenger got out of the burning car. Officers at the scene began trying to extinguish the flames using their fire extinguishers, but they were unsuccessful. When the fire department arrived and were finally able to get the fire put out, both occupants of the vehicle were deceased inside. A full investigation is underway. The identity of the two deceased occupants have not been released yet. In San Rafael on Monday morning last week, a security guard saved the day for two women after he sprung into action and helped them get out of their burning home. This incident happened shortly after 2 o'clock in the morning when a fire broke out in a single-story duplex. A security guard who was working near the building heard the calls for help from the two women inside the burning home. So without hesitation, he sprung into action and entered the home through the back door, then helped get the two women to safety before fire crews arrived. One of the women was elderly that he had to carry out of the home. This hero security guard, who works for Barbier Security Group out of Novato, is identified as Arnie Meineke Poe. Mr. Poe literally saved the lives of these two women. Firefighters arrived shortly after and began their attack on getting the fire under control. Only one of the units of the duplex was lived in. The other connected unit was unoccupied. The two women were checked out by paramedics, and thankfully, both were uninjured thanks to Mr. Poe's quick and fearless action. Within about 40 minutes, fire crews had the fire under control and were successful from keeping it from spreading to the unoccupied adjacent unit. However, the unit involved in the fire was severely damaged. More good news on top of this already great story is that the two cats that these two women had also made it out of the burning home without being injured. The Humane Society has taken the two cats in to care for them, while the Red Cross helps the two women find temporary housing. All in all, this was a really great story with a great ending thanks to the quick and heroic action of security guard Poe. We'd like to let our viewers know that we will no longer be broadcasting on the streaming platforms that we've been on for the past couple of years since we started. This change was a decision made by our staff after taking a close look at our analytics of how many people have been watching us on those platforms compared to how much it costs to be on them, and it just wasn't panning out. So this month, we'll be ending our contracts with them. But not to worry, because literally every modern TV has a free built-in YouTube app that allows people to watch YouTube on their TV, and that's where we'll also be broadcasting on with our new YouTube channel. So if you've been watching us on your home TV by using any of the streaming platforms that we were on, such as Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV, then simply switch to watching us on YouTube now, which is also 100% free to access. Our new channel has the same title as our station name of KORK North Bay TV. So if you want to watch us on your home TV, please be sure to find us and subscribe to us on YouTube. KORK North Bay TV is adding a new segment to our news broadcasts called My Awesome Pet, where we'll be featuring videos sent in by you, our viewers, of your pets doing cool tricks or funny things, kind of like America's Funniest Videos, but featuring your awesome pets. Then, each segment will be followed by a pet care tip from a professional at a local veterinary hospital or animal shelter. Each week we'll be airing a new segment featuring someone's awesome pet, followed by a new professional pet care tip. How can you participate in this and get your pet featured on TV? Just send us a video clip of your awesome pet, and if we like it, we'll air it on the segment. Be sure to tell us all about your awesome pet, like its name, how old it is, what breed or type it is, and any other fun information you might have about why your pet is awesome. Clips can be emailed to us at info@korktv.com. That's info@korktv.com. Or if you have a video clip uploaded to a cloud or a hosting service, like YouTube or Vimeo, just email us the link so we can download it. It's that easy. If we like the clip, we'll air it. If you don't already have a video clip of your awesome pet, just make one and email it to us. Everyone has a smartphone with a video camera, right? You don't need anything more. We can't wait to see your awesome pet. Well, that's it for our broadcast today. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Remember, you can watch us on our website at KORKTV.com or on our YouTube channel under the name of KORK North Bay TV. And if you watch us on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to us. We'd sure appreciate it. We'd like to wish everyone a safe, happy, and healthy day. Thanks for watching.